Crash that ended a high-speed chase of a suspect wanted by Jacksonville police.
He's tried to move in, the Infiniti takes off and eventually enters a shopping plaza parking lot. The chase comes to an end when the Infiniti collides with a Nassau County K9 patrol unit.
A fugitive from Jacksonville. Outstanding warrants for domestic violence and strangulation. And he just rammed his car directly into a Nassau County K9 unit.
Bodycam video shows deputies with guns drawn, ordering Jackson to surrender.
He's about to find out why they keep the dog in that car.
The video shows deputies moving in and eventually taking Jackson into custody.
January 2026, Nassau County, Florida, just north of Jacksonville. This is a quiet county. Yulee, Fernandina Beach, Amelia Island. The kind of place where the biggest law enforcement headaches usually come from tourists and traffic on A1A. Not today.
Involving a high-speed chase of a suspect wanted by police in Jacksonville for allegedly strangling a woman before leading deputies on a chase.
The Nassau County Sheriff's Office receives word from the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office that a wanted fugitive may be in their jurisdiction. The suspect is Raymond Kenneth Jackson Jr, age 46, Jacksonville, and his warrant is not for shoplifting. It is not for an unpaid fine. According to Sheriff Bill Leeper, Jackson was wanted for some kind of domestic violence issue.
Only had outstanding warrants for his arrest, but was also considered a violent suspect.
They got word that he may have strangled his girlfriend.
Was wanted for some type of domestic violence issue. The word we got, he may have strangled his girlfriend.
Strangulation. That is not a misdemeanor. That is not a he said, she said situation. In the state of Florida, strangulation is a third-degree felony. And the reason law enforcement takes it so seriously is because research has shown that strangulation in a domestic violence context is one of the single strongest predictors that the violence will escalate to homicide. When someone puts their hands around another person's throat, the next step is often the last step. So this is not a routine pickup. This is a man who has already demonstrated he is willing to put his hands on someone's neck. And he is loose in Nassau County.
For allegedly strangling a woman before leading deputies on a chase here in Nassau County.
Deputies locate Jackson's vehicle in the Yulee area. They activate their lights. They signal for him to pull over. Jackson does not pull over. Jackson does not slow down.
When Nassau County deputies spotted 46-year-old Raymond Jackson Jr.'s white Infiniti sedan after receiving a bulletin from Jacksonville police,
Jackson does not acknowledge that the blue and red lights behind him exist, and a warrant pickup just became a high-speed pursuit through Nassau County.
About Jackson entering Nassau County.
Someone who's fleeing that has done something bad.
Jackson pushes through the county, running intersections, blowing through stop signs, swerving through whatever traffic exists on these roads at this hour. Deputies are behind him, multiple units now, coordinating on radio, calling out his position, trying to get ahead of him to set up containment.
After receiving a bulletin from Jacksonville police about Jackson entering Nassau County.
This is the part of every pursuit where the math starts running in the background. How fast is he going? How populated is this area? Are there schools nearby? Is there oncoming traffic? At what point does the risk of continuing the chase outweigh the risk of letting him go? Every deputy on this frequency is doing that calculation in real time.
It was the moment when Nassau County deputies spotted 46-year-old Raymond Jackson Jr.'s white Infiniti sedan.
And then Jackson answers the question for them.
Bulletin from Jacksonville police about Jackson entering Nassau County.
He sees a Nassau County K9 unit ahead of him. A marked patrol car with a law enforcement K9 inside. And instead of going around it, instead of turning down a side street, instead of doing literally anything else, he aims his car directly at it. Direct hit. Jackson rams his vehicle into the K9 patrol unit. Full impact. The deputy inside the car. The K9 inside the car. Both absorbing the force of a fleeing suspect who just turned his vehicle into a 2-ton weapon. Think about what just happened. A man running from strangulation warrants just deliberately rammed a police car. Not clipped it, not sideswiped it, aimed at it. That is a decision. That is intent. That is the difference between fleeing and eluding, which is a felony, and aggravated battery on a law enforcement officer, which is a much bigger felony. The deputy and the K9 were not injured. That sentence is easy to say now, sitting here after the fact. But in the moment, a man with strangulation warrants just drove his car into a police unit at pursuit speed. The fact that nobody was hurt is not because the impact was minor. It is because they were lucky.
Result of a crash that ended a high-speed chase of a suspect.
Jackson keeps going. His vehicle is damaged now. The front end is compromised. Fluids leaking. Steam rising. The kind of damage that turns a car from a getaway vehicle into a countdown timer. He does not stop. He pushes the damaged car forward. Deputies continue the pursuit.
As deputies tried to move in, the Infiniti takes off.
But physics is undefeated. The damaged vehicle cannot maintain speed. The engine is overheating. The handling is compromised. Deputies are closing the gap with every block. Multiple units converging from different directions. The radio traffic is constant now. Everyone knows where he is. Everyone knows he just rammed a K9 car. Everyone knows this is ending one way. Deputies box Jackson in. The damaged car has nothing left to give. It rolls to a stop, and the chase ends the way every chase ends, when the car gives out before the driver gives up.
The chase comes to an end when the Infiniti collides with a Nassau County K9 patrol unit.
Jackson is taken into custody. No further resistance.
To surrender. Then the video shows deputies moving in and eventually taking Jackson into custody.
The man who rammed a K9 unit at speed, who ran from domestic violence and strangulation warrants, who turned a warrant pickup into a multi-unit pursuit through Nassau County, is now standing on the side of the road in handcuffs. Compliant, quiet, cooperative.
Sheriff Leeper says it's not every day that his deputies are involved in dangerous car chases.
Funny how that works. They always fight when the car is moving. They always comply when it stops. Sheriff Bill Leeper addressed the incident afterward. He said, "All you know is that this is someone wanted by law enforcement. When you are chasing someone like that, you do not know the whole story of what they have done, just parts of it. You know they are dangerous. You want to keep yourself safe and fellow deputies safe as well." He acknowledged that the K9 and the deputy were not injured during the collision, but the fact that the sheriff of Nassau County had to publicly confirm that a K9 and a deputy survived being rammed by a fugitive tells you everything about how close this came to a different headline.
Bodycam video shows deputies with guns drawn, ordering Jackson to surrender.
Raymond Kenneth Jackson Jr., age 46, Jacksonville, Florida, wanted on outstanding warrants for domestic violence and strangulation, charged with aggravated battery on a law enforcement officer after ramming his car into a K9 patrol unit during a high-speed pursuit, charged with aggravated fleeing and eluding law enforcement, both felonies, both on top of the original warrants that started this whole thing. He was booked into the Nassau County Jail. At some point, he will be transferred to the Duval County Jail to face the original warrants from Jacksonville. The JSO processed his car and had it removed as evidence. He remains under investigation. The K9 is fine. The deputy is fine. The patrol car will need some body work. Jackson is looking at years, not months. If you have been watching Cuffed and Clueless from the beginning, you know we cover the clueless decisions people make on camera. Ramming a K9 unit while running from strangulation warrants is near the top of that list, but we also cover the officers and the K9s who deal with it. And today, a patrol unit took a direct hit and both the deputy and the dog walked away. That is the kind of outcome you do not take for granted.
You know they're dangerous. You want to make sure that you keep yourself and your fellow deputies safe as well.
Subscribe. Hit the bell. More body cam and dash cam dropping every week. The camera is always rolling.